Guys, the trilogy is nearly upon us, and I've brought in a very special friend, Mr. Ryan Falcon. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Dude, thank you so much for joining me. It just felt appropriate. I think the last time we filmed together was the second fight back in January. Now we, of course, have, I think, what Dana White today called maybe the most anticipated trilogy in UFC history with Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. And I want to talk to you about first the co-main event, and then of course we'll dive into the main event. So looking at the co-main event, we're at welterweight. We have Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. Okay, I like both these guys, so it's kind of hard for me to pick who I think is going to win, but I want to get your opinion first.
Sure. Again, this is a tough one for me too. Like you said, I am a big fan of both these guys. Stephen Thompson, I've been a fan for a little bit longer, just been seeing him do it a little bit longer in the UFC. This is going to be an interesting matchup. You got the karate guy with Thompson, likes to keep his distance. He likes to use that reach, especially with his legs. And then you got Gilbert Burns, who's kind of a jack of all trades. He's not afraid to brawl with you. He will take you down to the ground. He's not shy of any type of grappling situation. So I think it's going to be interesting. I will say I'm going to give the edge to Burns, a little younger. I think he's a little bit more in his prime per se, though Thompson did win his last fight. I don't think his competition was as hot as Burns was, having lost to arguably the best fighter in the UFC in Kamaru Usman. I'm going to give the edge here to Gilbert Burns. If I had to guess in which fashion, Gilbert takes him to the ground, making Stephen Thompson a little bit uncomfortable and possibly submitting him there.
Right, and the thing about it is, like, you know, Gilbert Burns knocked down Kamaru at the beginning of that fight and then just kind of got wild, wasn't able to control himself, and Usman took care of him. I've seen a lot of people say if Stephen Thompson wins this fight, he's next in line for a crack at the belt. I don't know what happens if Burns wins. Do they give it to Burns? Do they go with Colby? You know, there was people talking about Leon getting a shot, but after that performance last month, like, where do you think welterweight goes after, depending on, do you think it depends on who wins this fight?
Well, if you do feel like it goes to whoever wins this fight, I mean, if you're going to give Thompson the fight, then by that same logic, you have to give Burns that. He's already sitting at the number 2, Thompson being at the 4. You could definitely make the argument that Burns would make a great matchup with Usman for another round there. That's a tough division. That's Usman's division. I don't really see it going anywhere. It's kind of in a stalemate, in my opinion. But I will say Burns, yeah, if he wins, why not give him another crack at it?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I know Gilbert Burns lost his last fight, but he's looked great outside of that. And he's still, like we said, it wasn't like he just got demolished. I mean, he did get knocked out by Kamaru, but he was able to, you know, make things a little bit interesting there early on. So I'm going to go with Gilbert Burns as well. It's, like you said, a battle of karate versus jiu-jitsu. And I don't know. I see Burns maybe second round, third round. I could see it also going the distance. Not quite sure there, but I'm very, very excited for that co-main event. And then, of course, we have the main event. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier 3. I'm so excited for this, dude. I've been counting down. I know you know me, dude. I'm watching the embedded. There's been no Conor in the embedded. He's doing no media. He's isolated. We're getting old Conor. I know we've said it before, but nice guy Conor seems to be gone. Where are you going in the direction of this fight?
Oh man, where do I begin? Conor does this incredible job like no one else of just making it seem like the biggest thing. With Conor, he has not performed well in quite some time, to be completely frank.
Yeah.
Yet he has the uncanny ability to just make you believe every single time that he is going to bring the full juice. Having said all of that, I love that Conor's going the 0 dark 30 route. I think that is very smart of him. That way he can't really do any wrong in the media there. He stays focused. Having said all that, the Diamond, Dustin Poirier, is fighting the best I've ever seen him fight. He looks incredibly comfortable at that weight. He's on an upward trajectory. All facts, regardless of the antics, suggest Conor is on a downward trajectory. my gut, my brain, everything has to go with Dustin here.
Do you see Dustin finishing Conor again?
I would take that all the way to the bank.
Okay.
I feel like he will finish Conor again. That power doesn't go away. That chin doesn't get stronger. I think it'll end in a very similar fashion it ended.
Yeah,
in the second fight.
I saw Habib mention, they asked him what he thought about this fight in UFC 264 and he thought who was going to win. And Habib said if it goes past the first round, he thinks Dustin wins. And he really said, Conor could potentially catch him at some point in the first round. If you look back at that fight in January, Conor had some good moments early on. I think Dustin even came out and said he was hurt at one point.
Absolutely.
But
he has the strongest straight punch in the division by a country mile. His precision is unlike anybody else. Conor can drop you, but I agree with Habib 100%. Conor's cardio game, hasn't been on the level it needs to be in since Habib really exposed him on that front. And I agree. If it goes past the first, I think Dustin's going to really piece him apart. Conor's really going to have to come out explosive if he really wants a chance to win this thing.
And maybe Conor's got me roped in just like he does, just like you said with everybody else, making you believe something that you don't know if it's truly there.
It's unbelievable.
It's so good because I'm going to say, I think Conor's going to win. I'm going to pick Conor. I'm not saying I'm going to bet on Conor, but I'm going to go second round, knockout, TKO, Conor. And here's the thing, like you said, Conor has not looked great, right? He beat Cerrone, which wasn't, we've seen what Donald's done, a legend of the game, but not the Donald Cerrone that was in there back in the day.
Not my cowboy.
No, not your cowboy. And outside of that, it's like there's nothing that just points to Conor McGregor that he should win this fight, but I don't know. I feel like he does an incredible job of making you believe in him. So I am gonna say Conor. Probably not gonna happen, but there's just something where I was debating before we recorded this video, and I was like, my heart says Conor, but my head says Dustin. I'm gonna go with the heart here. I'm gonna say Conor McGregor second round TKO. Either way, I am so excited for this fight. Like you said, I think a couple weeks ago when we were talking, I don't know where Conor McGregor goes if he loses this fight. Do we see him fight in the UFC again?
That is a great question. If I honestly would have to, I would bet it would depend on how he performs. If he comes out and this is a fight for the ages, and it is a Rocky versus Apollo Creed, just one for the ages all the way to the end, then sure, I think Conor isn't that far off to where he was before the fight. He can easily sell another one. He picks apart a couple people. If he's smart with his selections, he could be right back up there. If Dustin just absolutely wipes the floor with him, I think he's going to be in that celebrity boxing situation pretty soon. Yeah,
no, I agree. Anyways, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. Guys, make sure you check out Ryan down below. I will leave all of his social media. Make sure you do tune in Saturday for UFC 264. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.